What's going on, everyone? It's Jacob.
And Hannah.
Back here with another episode of Commerce Connects. Today, we have a local influencer, Barber. His name's Ivan the Great. How'd you get into barbering?
Man, funny story. The way I got into barbering was actually I used to cut my own hair in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's because at the time, my parents really couldn't afford it as much as I wanted to get a haircut. So I was like, you know what? Let me just cut my own hair. And then that slowly became one thing, and then my friends noticed I was doing that, so I started cutting everybody else's hair in the basement, and then slowly just picked up from there, man. Just really got into it that way.
Man, awesome. So with being a barber in Kansas, you have to be licensed, right? To technically be able to do stuff like that?
Yeah, you got to have, I think it's 1,200 hours at a barber college.
Okay.
And then you can take the test, the state board test, to actually get your license.
That's cool. Do you have to I know nothing really about barbering or anything.
Yeah.
Do you have to get that renewed, like a license renewed, or is it a one-time thing?
No, you get it renewed once a year. It's not that bad. You know, just pay their the taxes on it, and then, you know, you get your license every year. Yeah.
Very cool. So is barbering, is that what you wanted to do? You saw that kind of in your future since you were doing it as a young age? Is it something like you had the passion for?
Yeah, I think over time I developed a passion for it because in reality, back then when I used to get haircuts, I used to get bad haircuts. They were bad, and I was like, well, if they're this bad, let me just cut my own hair, right?
Yeah.
And I never liked that feeling of me having a bad haircut and going to school.
Yeah.
Dude, like, you guys know, when you're
yeah.
like, some of these kids are mean, and at a younger age, dude, like, they get on you for having a bad haircut.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I don't want no one else to feel like this. Let me help other people to feel better about their image and looks.
I love that. Yeah, because I mean, even just nowadays, you want to. I mean, when you look good, their confidence is behind it. So it's like that is definitely helping, people, and getting instilled with confidence and stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
So how did you end up at Primetime? Because that's where you're at currently, right?
Yep. So originally I was getting cut by this barber named Angel Alvarez at Legends Barbershop. Back when they were at the West Mall. I don't know if you remember.
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
And Nelson used to work right next to him.
Okay.
And I just got really close with both the guys. And as soon as I graduated barber college, Nelson said that he was opening up his own shop.
Okay.
And he asked me if I wanted to take a risk and join their shop, a new shop with no clientele really. I already had a decent amount of clientele since I was cutting throughout high school. So I was like, you know what? I'll take the risk and join the team.
Man, that's awesome.
And how long ago was that? Like, what's the timeline on that?
You're making me feel old. But that's 2016. So this August would be 8 years that I work with Primetime.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
a long
insane.
time, dude. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so back when I was more going to barber shops and whatnot before I started, shaving my own head.
Yeah.
I started off going to the Legends Barber College. They're right there, like Harry and Webb.
Yep.
That's where I started. And then, as barber colleges go, you get that one iffy experience.
Yeah.
And I switched up. I started going to Primetime, the one out by North.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That's the one I started going to. I went there for a good amount of time.
We've been there, bro, forever. We never moved, you know. And now Nelson has a second location out on the east side, off of Kellogg and Woodlawn.
Yeah.
And the Primetime East, they have just as many barbers as we do at the North Shop.
Man.
So Nelson's been putting a lot of work in and growing his whole barbershop and the people inside that are working with them. He helps us out a lot for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So being a barber and an influencer, how did you kind of go into the influencer lane as a barber?
You know what? I didn't mean to. Yeah, because the whole thing with me was posting online to actually get new clientele and to raise my prices, make more money, right? Well, I just became kind of decent or good now at content that part just came with it, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't really my intention, but now I'm just enjoying my fruits of my labor with that, and it's pretty fun. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
your numbers. They're insane. We were just checking them out beforehand, and obviously, I've known you were large on Instagram. I never realized you were on TikTok like that. And then when I checked your TikTok numbers, I was like, okay, that's insane. So, when it comes to doing content, do you notice the drive of customers coming in from it nowadays? Now that you're
100%. Yeah. So whenever I get new clients, I always ask them where'd you guys see me? Where'd you come from? Who'd you hear about me from? And most of the time it's TikTok or Instagram. Yeah, and it helps me out that much, you know. And even in public, when I go out in public, I'm starting to get recognized. It's just crazy to me because I'm like, bro, I never expect this to happen. And it humbles me a lot too because I'm like, dude, because of the community here in Wichita, they're actually helping my business out too, you know?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know you're super big. Our Jaren, who, you know, runs the building, her son, I think he was at Shopping Grub or something. He pointed out and was like, Mom, that's the barber from TikTok.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then she was like, yeah, he lives in our building.
That's dope. That's dope. I like to meet him sometime, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So where's like the furthest somebody's traveled to get their haircut?
So that's a few questions because like I'll have people come into town because they have something to do here, right? And they'll be like, "Well, I seen your stuff online, so I decided to book with you." That person came from DC.
Okay. Wow,
but he has something to do here, right?
Yeah.
But to travel just for a haircut, I think it was Little Rock, Arkansas.
Wow,
Man,
6 hours. Yeah. Wait, I take that back. Between that guy and some guy from Denver.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some dude flew out here. And just for a haircut, really,
That's crazy.
That's what I said.
Awesome.
That's crazy, dude. Like,
it's like, man, you're paying the tax on the flights, everything.
Yeah,
well, that's awesome.
The pressure was on too, because I was like, dude, I gotta make it worth it for this guy. You know?
Right? Did he like it?
Oh, he loved it. Yeah,
I bet he did.
Dude, that's awesome. And seeing like all the content of like you asking people, like, so why'd you come to me? Like seeing that stuff was really cool to see.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I learned. So I have a mentor actually that kind of helps me out with this stuff. And one thing he always asks is, like, when you get new clients, ask them their issues with their hair, what's their problem, because then you can figure out what you can fix, and that's worth something to them, you know?
Yeah.
And with any kind of business, if you find a issue with the client or customer that they're having in any kind of, like, market, you're going to eventually make some decent money and get returning clients from that, right? So I was like, why not put that on camera, right? And then that kind of just blew it from there, you know?
Yeah. So your mentor is it a mentor within like the barber side, or is it influencer side, or both?
The barber side.
Barber side.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, he was an influencer at one point, and then decided to switch over to mentoring people to grow their business in the barber side, right?
Yeah.
And that ended up being a whole big mentorship with him, and helping out a lot of other barbers. And I'm really not the only one that's doing what I'm doing in the barber industry, right? Yeah. There's definitely other people that are doing way better than me, bigger numbers, but we all kind of feed off each other, same ideas, you know, same concept, and then go out and help each other out too, you know? Yeah. And the mentorship definitely helped me out a lot too.
That's awesome. It's great to have that too, really, with anything, business, hobbies, anything that you do or something, you know, like if you have a mentor who's already done it, and then they can, you know, one, teach you what they did, and two, kind of just bounce ideas off you. If you have something, give it to someone else.
I agree.
Yeah,
so the mentorship is really important for anybody because, like you said, they already been through it all. They know what to do, what not to do, and really they just help you with that and make sure you don't do the same mistakes they did, you know?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Would you ever consider, like, being a mentor, or are you already, like, kind of in that lane?
I would like to.
Yeah,
I would definitely like to. That'd be fun because I definitely like helping people out. If people come to me and ask for help or any kind of advice, I definitely like giving it away because it's gonna come back, you know, and in different ways and forms with helping out people. And I'm not looking for karma or nothing like that, but I just really want to give out to people, right? So if they want to come up to me and ask for advice, I would definitely hand it out.
Yeah,
you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing that's like, I honestly think doing the mentorship space, especially like the lane that we're in, like being on the creative side of things, like schooling is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like if you want to go to college, but the more benefit that I've seen is like the mentorship aspect. Yeah. Like if you can find somebody that can like show you, like you said, through the ways of the business, it's tenfold. It looks like number for number wise.
Yep.
I think the mentorship route's definitely the way to go.
I agree, dude. And then one issue though I hear people say when it comes to mentorship, like they don't really want to pay. And I'm like, well, it's a bigger investment to invest in yourself than it is to invest in something like stocks or cryptos that you don't know much about. But if you invest in yourself, I think that will like tenfold your income and you and as a person itself too. You know?
I agree. You'll see, you know, whether it's like investing in yourself mentally, physically, career wise, like you're gonna receive the benefits rather than, you know, like you said, crypto. Like, okay, I might be able to make a little change off of this, but it might be, you know, that microwave thing. But when you invest something in yourself, you're gonna see that times 10, times 20. So no, I love that.
Yeah, no, the crypto space, like, luckily right now is like down.
Yeah.
Like, because I was in it pretty heavily, and seeing like once I realized like really what it was, because obviously stocks, bonds, whatever, like you have, like that's guaranteed money, like that's going into those companies. So it's secured. But then you have other things like the crypto space. You're just betting on the other person to put in money.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like when I like realized that, okay, so I'm just praying that X, Y, and Z will throw in their own money so I can pull out to make a profit. I was like, okay, cool, I'm done on that.
Yeah. Like I said, unless you get a mentor, and
then
it's gonna help out. Yeah. You know? But it just really comes down to investing in yourself.
Yeah,
that's what I'm learning a lot right now.
Yeah. So are you in any other spaces besides like barber and influencer? Like what else, like hobbies or something that do you like to do, have?
That's a good question. Not so much. Just really content wise. I like to reach out to other content creators and influencers and try to collab with them, right? Because there's also other barbers I look up in the industry, like for instance Vic Blends. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them.
Yeah,
Vic Blends and Rob the Original. I really like their work because they are not just in the barber industry itself.
Yeah,
they're actually out and doing other things with creators, rappers, artists, all this cool stuff that I feel like the barber industry should start doing too, right?
Yeah.
And you see that with hairstylists and cosmetologists. They're out doing cool things with other celebrities and helping their business out too that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that kind of the lane you want to get into a little bit more? Is like in that more influencer type
definitely.
lane?
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be real fun to me because not to say anything bad about my clients on camera now, influencers are way better on camera, right? So that'll help out with content and more people watching too, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and Vic Blends is crazy. Like, seeing all of his stuff, I mean, because he, like, from my perspective, was one of, like, the first barbers to, like, blow up on social.
Yeah, that everybody knows.
Yeah. And it's like, if you might not know his name, but you know his face, like, because he was always giving out those free haircuts. And, like, seeing that type of content was really cool. I mean, I don't know nothing about how to cut hair.
No.
But I'll sit there and watch him cut people's hair. It's cool. It's like almost just like ASMR. It's like to watch like haircut videos, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like I don't go to a barbershop, but that's how I kind of knew you is I started watching him. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I watched him. I don't get my haircut. Yeah. Well, I get my haircut, but you know, it's still cool to watch.
Yeah, I get that a lot from girls bringing their boyfriends in. Like, I see you on TikTok, I'm bring my boyfriend in. I was like, dude, that works out. Yeah,
like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
So you have like a hook on Instagram, TikTok, where it's like you charge $100 now, right? So what was that process from, I guess, jumping up, and then how did you realize that would be a good hook to have on social media?
Engagement.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people hate hearing that. That it's like, oh, you don't got to always mention your prices. And I know, but I learned quickly that it's a lot of engagement in my comments and people sharing, saying something about it, whether that's negative or positive. It definitely stir up a lot of comments, right? And that's throwing my videos back into the algorithm and other people watching it, right? And then them arguing in the comments, trying to justify my prices. And then I got people helping me out, right? But it definitely like led to one thing for me. I never lie. I get this a lot too, where people are like, he's lying for views,
clicks,
for clicks about his prices. I'm like, nah, I don't ever lie about that.
Yeah.
Right? Even when I was at 75, I was saying I was at $75, right? How do you feel about that? And then I did a video about me like, hey, I'm about to go up to $100. And I never told them before I turned on the camera, so I wanted a genuine reaction out of them. And that helped me out a lot too. Is more genuine content actually helps out the algorithm and your page too.
Yeah, because I feel like people can relate regardless of what it is. If it's a genuine interaction, like people can tell, and instinctually they can be like, oh, I'm going to relate to that because I can see it's genuine. So that reaction to that, oh, it's going to be $100 now.
Yeah,
I like
that. Sad,
yeah.
I'm
like,
either the sad or like the ones that are like, no, it's justified, bro. Like,
it's like, yeah, you deserve it. Yeah,
seeing that type of stuff was really cool because, like, back when I was like going to the barbershop all the time, it was like $25, $30 plus tip, you're paying $40. And then seeing now, it's like, cool, now you guys are getting paid what you deserve. I mean, because there's times where I'd go get my haircut and I'd be in the chair for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, shit, if we're breaking it down hourly, plus I know that you guys got like booth rent and stuff like that, like, it makes sense to pay that.
Yeah.
Because then you're breaking it down to, how much like I would charge personally for like a photo shoot or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, no, it's justifiable. Like people saying, oh, $100 is too much.
Nah, it's it's like that with any market too. There's a high end and low end, right? Same with like shoes, you can get $1,000 pair of shoes or $100 shoes, you know? Same with apartments, you can go to a nice luxury apartment like we're here now, or you can go somewhere that's $300 a month, right? And you're gonna get what you're gonna pay for, right? And it's the same with haircuts too, you know? And I try my best to give them the full experience that they actually feel comfortable paying that price, you know? Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I guess, were you one of like the first barbers here locally to be hitting that price, or was there anyone else?
No, I think I want to say from everything I know, maybe the top barber in Kansas as charging that price, right? Okay. No one else is doing it. And there's a lot that goes into it. I tell people, like, I just didn't go up on pricing because I have a high following, you know? It had to do a lot with marketing and understanding my market, what the clients want, you know, and all that. That's what really drove my price up, you know?
Well, and it makes sense. If your books are full at 75, go up to 100.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't make that. Like, you're going to lose out some clients, but it's going to make up in the end.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing, people, I don't think will always understand.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed with the barber industry, it's one of the industries where people get mad at the barber for going up on pricing. Like, give yourself a price raise. Every other industry, they're like, that's fine, you know, you deserve it, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to barbers, they're like, no, you can't be doing that. Like, what about us? I'm like, well, it's a free market and everyone has free will. So you can definitely go to someone else. And that, I feel like, helps out the other barbers locally. Because now that I'm not booked up anymore, those clients can go somewhere else and feed the other barbers, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for both of us, I think so. For both barbers, you know, two barbers and stuff.
Yeah. Did barbers locally, like, were they mad that you went up? Like, how did that go?
I wouldn't say mad. At least the barbers I know personally, you know, were happy about it because it shows them that it's possible.
True,
you know?
true.
But I always hear like stuff out there, but I don't pay much attention to it. I always try to feed into the positive side of things, 100%, right?
100%.
Yeah.
How is the like Wichita barber community? Like, is it a tight knit type of thing, or is it there's a lot of competition or a lot of not competition and just like elevating people? How is that?
So I think now, since the social media thing is starting to blow up for everybody, it's more tight knit because we're learning quickly that there's enough people out here to cut, right? Even if I cut 1,000 people, that's still not 1% of Wichita, right? So it's definitely enough out here for everybody to eat, right? So for the barber industry here locally, I think it's definitely growing. And that's something I want to help out here, too, with the barber industry. Just help everybody grow. Show them how I did it so they can do it, too, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because like you said, I think that industry is really growing, especially locally. Like, you see it blowing up for multiple people, which I love to see it, you know, in the influencer realm. Like, you want to see anybody from here, you know, elevate and do really well. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool seeing like other people from Buckets and whatnot, like jumping on the social media trend, and, like seeing, or not from Buckets, from Primetime, seeing like all of you guys just like working together, and like, because that's the same thing with like the photographers and whatnot. It used to be like so just like competition based, and it's like, dude, there's so much for everyone to eat.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to sit there and be mad that this person's doing that when it's like, just work together.
And you can just throw off that positive energy to them, and then you'll get a lot of positivity coming back to you. So, you know, the energy is going to feed you regardless. So if you're mad and negative about people, that's all you're going to receive. So
yeah, I feel you on that. It's definitely something that I see a lot of positivity in when you help other people. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
So you're pretty big. You're really big on Instagram and really, really big on TikTok. What is your preferred platform?
That's a good question. So my preferred platform is Instagram because I like the aesthetic feel of it. But TikTok is definitely one of those platforms that helps you grow a lot quicker because there's more users on there, right?
Yeah.
So if there's more users, obviously you're going to get more views, right? But just me personally, I like the Instagram just because I can, you know, just not the TikTok, but more of the photos you can post on there. It'll blow up more than TikTok would, you know? And it's definitely funner for me to see stuff on there, you know?
Yeah. Which platform did you start growing on first? Like, which one took off before the other?
Instagram.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. And the funny story about Instagram is when I first joined the mentorship program, I blew up to like 20, 30K.
Yeah.
And I stayed there. I stayed stagnant for a little while. And I was like, damn, what's something that I can do to grow my page, right? And this is what comes back to, like, investing in yourself, right? I knew that I like to run towards my fears. So if there's something I'm scared of doing, that's probably what I should be doing, right? And I was always scared of being in front of the camera. Because it's an image thing. Nobody likes the way they look, hear, all that. It takes a lot of, self-development to get that courage to get in front of a camera. So I started doing that. And once I started getting in front of the camera, everything started blowing up for me. I knew I had to do this, right? But when I looked at the stuff that I didn't like about myself, I learned if I can change it, if I can do something about it, that's going to help me out too, you know? So instead of running from it, I go towards any kind of fear I have,
I love that message. That's deep.
Helped.
That's powerful. No, I love that. Yeah. Very cool.
Man, so you don't got to name numbers, but which platform do you see monetarily doing the best? Which one?
Not Instagram.
Not Instagram?
Okay. Not Instagram. TikTok for sure. I'm trying to dabble more into YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 4 platforms right there, and I want to see which one would do a lot better monetarily.
Yeah, because I know Facebook itself, or at least from what I've seen other creators talking about, Facebook long form is doing really well on pay versus YouTube.
Yeah.
But then in the short form game, I've heard TikTok is doing better than Instagram.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And at the end of the day, for me, it's more about networking. Because lately I learned that networking does really help you out financially.
Yeah.
It's really who you know that gets you up there, right? And me networking out in Dallas and having my friend Luis in St. he's also an influencer from here, but he lives in Dallas, connecting me with other influencers is I can see grow me in the long term, you know?
Yeah, because that collaborating and just doing stuff with other people of influence, I mean, obviously ends up growing your page because the way you can connect and then collab on posts and then share stuff. And really, that's how in the basketball community, the influencer basketball realm, that's all you do. We all talk. We comment on each other's posts, add the engagement, because if I'm going to, comment on a post, I want it to be another, really someone who I'm going to help, want to help elevate and stuff. So, that's super important.
Yeah, and Dallas, I mean, there's so many influencers that either go down there just to vacation or visit, whatever, or that live. I mean, there's so many people, even from here, that are down there right now.
Yep.
So, and being able to network with them and really just grow out there, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So talking about let's say Dallas and here, do you think that as an influencer and of kind of, that status that you have, do you think it's being in Wichita helps, hurts, or do you think you need to move somewhere to grow? Or do you think you're going to be anybody or any type of influencer can grow in Wichita, or do they need to get out to elevate?
That's a really good question, because I personally believe you can be anywhere and grow.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what city you're in. I mean, you can tell by me, when I first went up to 100, no one thought it was going to work out here. That's California, big city prices. You can't make it work. I feel off of doubt. So if people doubt me, I'm like, all right, I'm going to show you, right? But I personally believe Wichita is fine for influencers. You got a lot of stuff to do out here. And going to a bigger city for me is going to help me bring stuff back to Wichita. So I am leaving Wichita to move to Dallas for more growth. But my end goal is really to bring more stuff back here and help other people out.
I like that. No, that's a really heartfelt way to look at it. I'm going out here to grow, but I'm going to bring it back, because you're from Wichita, right?
Yep.
Bring it back to my city and elevate the people here. So that's really, that's awesome of you.
Yeah. And I hate when I hear people say there's nothing to do in Wichita. And I'm like, dude, there's plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All it is they're scared to get out their circle.
Yes.
And going back to the fear thing, go to something you're scared of doing.
Yeah.
You're scared of doing, because that's going to be fun. You never know until you try it, right? And I started doing that, especially with seeing, what's his name, Wichita Life.
Yeah, Landon, yeah.
Dude, he posts all these things you can do on the weekend. I'm like, there's plenty of stuff to do here.
And there's plenty of free, people don't understand, there's plenty of free stuff to do here too. You don't even got to spend a lot of money to explore this city. Because I know that's what stops a lot of people. They're like, oh, you got to pay all this to do. No, man, just go out. There's so many parks. There's so many free events that Wichita puts on. So follow Wichita Life. You'll get a whole list of stuff Thursday through Sunday to do.
I'm always looking at their stuff. See what I want to do this weekend.
Shout out Landon.
There's always free things going on. You go wake up on a Sunday, what do we do today? Yeah, check out Landon's page.
Check out. There's plenty of stuff to do here, but I like that you said, anywhere you go, you can be like essentially be successful.
100%.
You should do like motivational reels too, because you're very motivational.
Thank you. I'm trying not to be though. Like, it's not that I'm motivational. I just like the idea.
It's in you though. Yeah, no, like,
yeah.
and that's where you see it's genuine, because you genuinely, I feel like you live that, and it just comes out. So I love that. That's awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
Yeah.
And start giving motivational speeches to like people while you're cutting their hair.
Yeah, be another big Blends. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh
He'd be
yeah,
doing
him.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Yeah, his stuff. Yeah.
That would be wild. Like, you just get someone that's just in there talking about their day, and you're like, nah.
No.
Just start going in.
Just going in. Be like,
Like, you like pan in some just like motivational music.
Give him a David Goggins speech.
Right.
Go harder.
Who's carrying the boats?
Yeah.
that would be cool.
But really, like, I do feel like motivated, and it's a lot to do with the people I surround myself with. That matters a lot. And I'm also fun to hang out with. You know, I can be goofy too.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be always motivated, but I love the motivational fact. Because I always used to say one thing too is motivation gets you to the starting line, but discipline helps you finish the race.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And I always tell myself that one, like, because motivation dies. You know,
Yeah.
you can be motivated one day and then the next day you're not, right?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna keep doing? You're gonna just give up that day? No. So, but if you put that discipline factor in it, it'll help you get farther in life, and that's what helped me. Because I don't know if you guys seen, but I had never missed a day of posting in the last almost 2 years in July.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've kind of noticed that. I didn't know for sure, but I'm like, yeah, he gets to it. He's literally like, you're one of the few influencers that I know that's every single day.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's that takes.
There was days where I was posting 4 times a day.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you?
Do you shoot, edit everything yourself?
At first I did, and now I have a video editor I hired back in February, so he helps me out, but he only does some of the work. I do the new content because I need to get used to editing that to actually explain to him how to edit it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's awesome.
And do you think getting started as a influencer, really in any influencer category, to post multiple times a day, or do you think just once a day, every day? Like, what's the best way to get started, and how often do you think someone getting into this field should post?
I say every day, just because the first 30 days are going to be really important to you, right? And I say that because the first 30 days are test periods, and those 30 posts you did should be all different. I'm giving a little gem here, so y'all pay attention. So those 30 days should be different from each post you did, right? And then you can go back and look at those numbers and see what post did really well and what didn't. Find out why it did well, and then make that post even better. And then that's what's gonna blow your page up even more, right?
Yeah.
And that's really what I did, right? So the first 30 days, testing period. After that, the next 30 days are gonna be those posts that worked, but better, right? And then you will post that type of content for 5 days out the week, and the other 2 are test periods again. So you're always having something new in the arsenal, right? So you got things that work, new content, and then that new content might become things that work, throw it back into your pot. And that's how you kind of grow your page. That's what I learned over the time.
And that's smart, like the test periods, and just give yourself, allotted times, and really just kind of, it's the research and see what works and what doesn't.
Exactly.
That's,
What do you think about like sponsored posts, boost posts, stuff like that?
I don't know. I never did it because I really like growing my page organically. And that shows a lot more than just boosting. If you're a business, if you're a small business, I understand because you're trying to sell product.
Yeah.
But as an influencer or trying to become an influencer in that realm, I definitely feel like you shouldn't have to. You know?
No, I mean, that makes sense because like trying to build like a personal brand, stuff like that. Like you're trying to get that core audience. But on the other hand too, like I think there's certain ways that you can run like ads or even sponsoring posts that still can get you organic reach as well. Because it's just going to put you in front of a different audience that might not fully know about you. But yeah, no, I can definitely see like trying to stay as organic as possible as well.
Yeah, and one way I learned to be really organic too is actually creating a community in your platforms you're using, right? So whenever when you got a small page, if someone follows you, follow them back.
Yeah.
Like 3 of their posts, comment something genuine, don't just do emojis, right? And watch them do it back to you too, right? And that's how you create a good community and feed into that community. And that really will pay off because now Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform you're using is also recognizing that, there's more engagement on your post. Let me reward this creator and give him more views and comments and all that too.
I like that, kind of creating a community within the community that you know, circulate the organic.
Yeah, and I did that for the longest too.
That's smart. That's something that can not easily, but you know, something you can easily do to jumpstart your page. I like that. What is something that created the most engagement? Is there do you hop on trends, or do you really just do your own thing?
I might hop on trends from time to time. There's nothing wrong with trends. I tell people that God, just do it. Like especially if you're starting off, it's okay to copy someone's idea. Like, you ever heard that saying, it's dumb to reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
Right? Just make it better. Yeah. So especially a trend, that trend's going to be unique because it's you. And you're a whole different person than that person, right? I don't think there's nothing bad about it. But I did learn quickly that each type of video online has the same principles as every post, right? The first 3 seconds matters. And there's only 2 things you can actually use: visuals and sound. So if you can master those 2, because you can't smell, right, or taste anything, right? But if you can master those 2 in the first 3 seconds, that's definitely going to help your post.
That's a nice gem right there. Yeah, that's something that I guess I never really thought too deep into it, but visuals, sound. If you can master that, you catch someone's attention.
Yeah, that's why you see a lot of I like to call them hyper edit stuff, where it's they'll start off with a fire transition, and then a crackling sound or something, just in the Commerce Connects Live, how they're talking about a scroll stopper, stuff that, to where it's different, catches their attention. But also too, with your videos, another reason that I could see they're doing as well as they are is the retention aspect, because people get invested after those first 3 seconds. They're well, let's see how this haircut turns out. And I know Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that, they're rewarding that retention because it's keeping people on their platforms as well.
Yeah. So. Well, that's me. I'll watch your video and I'm I got to see what his hair looks like at the end, so I have to stay. And then by that time, I've watched 6 videos.
I'm at that point too right now where it's time for me to find a new form of content. And people that are already in the content creator world and doing it well, one thing I recommend is looking at different industries, because that's what I did too. I wasn't just sticking to barber industry. I was out here looking at the fitness world or the cooking world to actually get new ideas, because that matters a lot too, right?
Yeah, kind of bringing a new touch to it and setting your own, making your own, way to shoot content. There is one thing I'm curious about. Do you use an iPhone or a camera? iPhone, okay, because you never really know. So is using a camera something that you will in the future, or you strictly think, iPhone's the way to go?
I'll definitely use a camera eventually. It's just a whole new device I'm going to have to learn. Yeah, iPhone's easy. I recommend everybody just use their iPhone when you're starting off. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Especially right now with everything on TikTok and Instagram. They do 9:16 frame, right? Yeah. That's iPhone right there, and camera's cool. Don't give me nothing, there's nothing bad about using the camera. It's just, for some of us, it's out of our budget.
Yeah.
Well, and my thing too with the whole camera thing is it's more personable on a phone. People are so used to seeing the phone stuff. That's why I always tell people, having the cameras is cool, but if there's even content that I want to shoot that I want it to feel more personable, I'm using my phone.
Yeah.
And also, when you're using your phone, it's a little bit easier to edit. It's there's less steps you have to make. So if you're just trying to do a quick post, and especially with you're posting every single day, just shoot it on your phone, chop it up real quick, and then post it. You're not doing anything crazy elaborate where it has to be ultra cinematic, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so I think that's awesome. Just using your phone, stuff like that.
And it goes back to actually looking more organic and natural on the iPhone than it does with the camera. That's so cinematic. It's too cinematic for some people, especially on TikTok. They don't want to see cinematic.
Because they're going to think it's more staged or whatever. It comes with that territory of when they see that quality, they're okay, it's staged.
I feel like humans want to connect, and when it's staged, I'm I can't personally connect my energy with something that's staged.
Yeah, and this is all that perception instantly. People are just it looks high quality, but it's they probably, if they had the time to set up the cameras like that,
it's staged.
Yeah. So, do you edit on your phone too, or do you edit on a computer?
Edit on my phone.
Yeah.
Everything's on my phone.
You just be
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I like that.
people
like
would
that.
see like, oh, you're just on your phone. Like, nah, I'm actually working.
Yeah, I'm working. No, that's I mean, that's awesome. And because like you said, you know, we already have a phone. You don't have to go drop another $1,000 on a camera if you don't have that. If you want to get into the influencer creator space, you already have everything you need. Everyone pretty much has an iPhone or a smartphone, and it's right there.
Exactly.
No excuses at that point, kind of.
Well, it's like doing like the daily content back on that. Like when I just got back from this trip, the whole time I was on the trip, I had multiple cameras with me, but if I was just trying to get like a quick clip of like for a vlog essentially, just shoot it on my phone. Like there was no need to pull out a camera, press record, and it makes it less awkward to do stuff in public.
Yeah,
and I feel like too with your clients, because you do a lot of stuff with people that maybe aren't used to being in front of a camera or whatnot. So
that's a big issue I have is like my clients not being used to being on camera.
Yeah,
and trying to get them to come out their little show. It's definitely a fun task to handle. I think so. Yeah.
Do you have to get like the okay? Like, do you ask before?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah. Or is everyone pretty receptive? Do they are like, yeah, do it?
Yes and no. Most of my new clients are willing. They want to be on camera. You know, that's what's fun about it, because then their fun sides come out too. But there's some people that don't care being on camera and are just shy. But that has to do with a lot of self-development in myself to become a better speaker and actually get them to come out of their bubble, you know, make them feel comfortable, make them feel like we've been friends forever. I think that matters a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
So typical day, run us through it.
Typical day. So I go into the shop 10 o'clock. At this price point, I don't cut that many clients, anywhere between like on a slow day 4 up to a busy day like 7 to 8. But busy day, Fridays, 10 o'clock, record 2 or 3 clients a day, leave around 6:30, come home, come to the National, and edit scripts for my video editor. And then also, I like to study content at least every day for like an hour minimum. Studying content and not just mindlessly scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, but actually looking for new ideas to copy. That matters a lot too. But that's really my day right there. Okay. I do eat, by the way.
Eat, gym.
Yeah. I was say you're fit. I see on your story you're into the fitness.
Into
the fitness life.
Yeah, me and Nelson, the shop owner, he's also like my best friend and a big brother to me. We go usually around 6:30 in the morning, and then after that, I come home and then get ready for work.
Nice. Yeah. No. And how important, just because you're an influencer, as someone I feel like who is really in tune with themselves, how important is kind of having that movement in the morning and fitness into your just daily, you know,
super
life?
Important, because obviously it wakes your body up. It's really healthy for you, and your image is everything right now, because everyone's on social media, right? So if you look good, you're gonna feel good and you're gonna perform good, right? So take care of yourself. That matters a lot, you know. And especially if you're on camera and want to be on camera, you're gonna have things that you don't like about yourself. If you can change it, if there's something you can do about it, I definitely think you should do something about it, you know. So that matters a lot.
No, definitely, yeah.
And then, so like you talked about filming like the fitness stuff, doing stuff like that. Have you noticed like the overlap, like of fitness people coming and checking out? Because those are like the two same, or not same worlds, but if you're going to be interested in the fitness industry, like you're trying to look good, feel good. So do you see an overlap with?
Not
people?
yet, but I have with my content ideas. I'll take content ideas from theirs and put it into my industry, and I feel like later on definitely can be something that we can work with other creators in the fitness world and barbers too, you know? Yeah.
Would you, so you do mainly like barber content. Would you ever transition more into like a lifestyle approach? Like, because I feel like that's for anybody who's in an influencer role in a specific niche, like they eventually kind of slowly transition into lifestyle, because people essentially, you get big and then people want to see everything.
That's funny. You kind of read my mind, because I'm slowly doing that right now.
Lifestyle.
So a lot of times when I go out places and people ask me what I do, I kind of say something different than barbering. I tell them I'm an image consultant, because that sounds nicer.
I like that.
That sounds nicer, right? And they're like, oh, what's an image consultant, right? But I really do want to become an image consultant, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the best looking guy. You know, I got a lot of things I need to work on too, but I'm actually working on it. And I feel like I can help other men help with their confidence too, and help with their image, because your image is everything right now.
Yeah.
You know, they like to say don't judge a book by its cover, but a lot of times it's a natural instinct.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can show up to any event the best version of yourself, people will notice that, you know?
Yeah. I like that because we, like you said, we say don't judge a book by its cover, but I mean, how you present yourself and how you take care of yourself shows a lot about you. It's not necessarily that, oh, I want to show out. It's you just show gratitude and gratefulness for, you know, the body you have and who you are. So I think that's a big thing is presenting yourself and having that confidence, because that shows a lot about a person is how you take care of yourself.
Yeah, dude. And if you met me like 2 years ago, I was not the person I am now.
Yeah.
It took a lot of podcasts, a lot of self-development books, a lot of mentor and coaching with other people to help me where I'm at right now, you know?
I love that. So are you a reader then?
I'm not going to lie. I don't read. I listen to audiobooks.
Yeah. What's like an audiobook or a book that would help an influencer or just really... Barber or someone in general, like what's a recommendation that you would give somebody?
That's a good one. There's a lot of books I like to read. So I'm going to name 2 books that helped me out a lot and a great mindset to have was Relentless and Winning by Tim Grover.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of
Yes.
You heard of the book?
Yeah, that's Kobe's...
Kobe and Michael Jordan's personal coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I actually just restarted Relentless. Like that's on my nightstand right now. I already listened to it, but now I'm reading the physical copy.
Yeah, there's so many gems in that book.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So Relentless doesn't teach you anything besides just labels. And I know labels are bad to some people, but Winning is a good one. But you can't read Winning without Relentless.
I haven't read that. I'm gonna have to add that once
Winning
I get.
Is fire.
Once I reread Relentless, I'm gonna get that one and listen to it. Yeah, that's awesome.
And let me think of another book. There's another book that I like a lot. One that I really, really like was How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Is
that one's bomb.
John Maxwell?
It's an old book. I don't know. I forgot the author name, but it's a really old book.
Because John Maxwell, he does a lot of stuff like that. Like he has like 17 Laws of Leadership and a lot of stuff like that. John Maxwell, he's probably one of my more favorite writers in that space. But also like the book Atomic Habits.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Always. That's, anytime someone's asking like, oh, what should I get into? Atomic Habits is the one that I'll bring up. Another one I just started, the 5 a.m. Club.
I heard of it, but
I haven't read that one.
I just started the audiobook of it. It's an 11-hour audiobook. Ooh. And I'm like about 2 hours into it.
Are you going to be part of the 5 a.m. club?
Hey, I've been trying. I
want to be. Yeah. I'm maybe the 6:45 a.m. club
I'm 6 o'clock.
Yeah, see, I need to move it up to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was doing 6 for a while and then fell off. But then when I was on that trip, I was up at like 5 a.m. because I was 8 a.m. here. So I was up at 5 a.m. and then the sun's out. So I was going on walks. And
that's dope.
It was a good time.
Yeah, you get so much more done when you wake up early at a good time. So since you wake up at 6, what time do you go to bed?
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I go to sleep like at 12 o'clock. So I'm pushing it. Yeah. But I try my best to be in bed by like 10:30, 11, you know. That doesn't happen all the time. We're not perfect, you know. We're going to have our mistakes. But usually around 11 is when I'm in bed, 11:30.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think like if you look at a lot of the successful influencers, entrepreneurs, all those people, they have some sort of routine like that. You know, they go to bed at a, you know, decent time, wake up early, read good books, surround themselves around amazing people. Is that to me, that seems like the kind of key to life.
Yeah.
Because that seems like kind of everything that you just said. You have a great group of people that you keep around, work out, all that. So is that something that's helped your success?
100%. Yeah. I like to say discipline is a form of freedom. People from the outside don't see that because you're like, oh, you're doing the same thing every day, this and that. But you're doing it willingly for a certain result that would lead you to freedom, right? Yeah. And me doing that for so long is going to get me to do things I really want in the future. That's the type of freedom I like, right? Yeah. It's also like, what's that word? I'm trying to think of it. Like when you get something later on. It's on the tip of my tongue. Like,
I know what you're talking about. Like
delayed gratification.
Yes.
Delayed gratification. Yeah, that matters a lot to me because it's always worth it. And that happens to me all the time with the posting on content. You know, like I did a new idea and it didn't work. Let me try it again. It's gonna eventually work if I improve it, right? It's delayed gratification. You know, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
And sometimes posts take time to catch.
Yeah, you gotta let it breathe.
Yeah,
it's like you could post it. Yeah, it might not take day one, but 2 weeks down, it might somehow catch.
That happens all the time too. Yeah, so I always tell people like that next day, don't look at the numbers. Just, you know, just focus on what's in front of you, and then later on look back at the numbers and see if it did any kind of numbers. Then work on it. You know.
Are you? Do you delete any posts? Because I know some people think, you know, if you're used to getting like 10K views a post, and then one does, let's say, 1,000. Are you a believer in just keeping everything up, or do you archive?
I do not delete.
Yeah.
I do not delete. Do not hide likes.
That's another one I was gonna ask.
I do not hide likes.
Dude, that's the one thing. Like as soon as they implemented that feature, because at first they were just hiding likes.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Because remember, they first tried that, and I was like, no, like show. Like I'm the type of person where it's like, if I make a post and it gets 10 likes, cool, I got 10 likes. Like I don't.
10 people saw it.
There's no reason for me to just like complain about that.
Yep.
And like, there's been a couple posts where like I've collabed with somebody. And they're like, "I'll hide the likes, like it does better." I'm like, "Okay, let's try it." And also, if I'm collabing with them and they want it hidden, cool, like by all means.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed a difference, like, because my thing is like the way I am. If I find a post that I really like and it has only 10 likes, I'm definitely liking, commenting, whatever. Because I'm the type of person where if it's that small, I want to help out with it. And then I mean, if there's something that got 10K likes, I'm just gonna go on. Like it's already up there. Like what's that one do?
Yeah, what's another one? But what is a piece of advice you would give someone, like if you could give someone one piece of advice who wants to become an influencer, specifically like a barber influencer, what would that one piece of advice be?
That's a good question. I would say do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. And make sure that opposite is something that the viewers would like to see, right? Because a lot of times we want to do things for ourselves, especially like since we're artists, we want to create stuff for ourselves. Yeah. But I think it's super important to create stuff for others, right? So when you're posting something, a lot of times I like to tell people is when you post something, don't look at it as your child. Because when you see your child, he's the most beautiful baby in the world, right?
Yeah.
But that baby might be really ugly, and you need to admit it. You need to admit it and be like, all right, how can I make this better? So... And don't be afraid of criticism.
100%.
Get criticism, you know. Like I like feedback from people. Like, did you like this? Did you not? You know. And if they say no, then I'm like, all right, what would you like to see, right? And pick at their brains, because you need to understand content not just as a creator but as a viewer. If you figure that out too, if you figure the viewer part of it too, and what they want to see, that's gonna help out a lot.
That's the one great thing about having like a circle of people. Because, I mean, even, like, us, we will send content back and forth and be like, okay, what do you think about this? And, like, having an honest circle.
Yeah.
Like, having the yes man circle is cool. Like, it can feed your ego, but it's, like, it's not true.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, like, if somebody always sends me, or if somebody sends me something for, like, a review or, like, hey, like, what do you think about this? Like, I want to be as honest as I possibly can just to help them out. Because there's no reason, oh, yeah, that's fire, when it's, like, no, I don't want to sign off on this if it's not what I think it could be.
Yeah, and that goes back to like hiding posts and likes.
Yeah,
I don't hide. There's times I post a bad haircut. I didn't think it was bad, but I guess the whole Instagram and TikTok think it's bad, right? I will never hide the likes or comments. I just don't feed into it, but I look at it as criticism and what I can improve on, right? And I tell people too, like, don't take things personal when people comment, because they're probably some losers in their mom's basement, you know, keyboard warriors trying to say stuff to you, but they would never say that stuff in person, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone has their own opinions, and they're entitled to their own opinions.
I bet that is hard on, like your customers, that they just willingly came in and said, oh, yeah, cool, put me on camera. And then you're putting them in front of, like, give or take 500,000 people. And they're just, whoa.
Do they get,
now I'm thinking about that. It's like,
do they either get roasted or any, like, how do you go about, because, I mean, you have a high engagement, high views. Do you ever... You read the comments, obviously, because you want to engage with your audience. How do you have to have kind of like thick skin too?
Yeah, you do.
How do you, like, I guess, what's the process when you're going through posting comments? Do you never comment on the negative, or do you kind of throw positivity in there?
Yeah, now I'll never, ever reply to anything negative. Just because if it's positive, you send me a positive message, I'm always going to reply. But negative stuff, I had this before. I had this done to me before when like I comment back to something negative. They're like, "Damn, I got you to reply."
Yeah,
they got me. Yeah,
they just trying to,
yeah. And I'm like, I never want to feed into that. But at first starting off, I didn't have thick skin. A lot of us didn't, right?
Yeah.
But talking to other people in that creator world and my mentor, and then like picking at each other's brains about it, it's normal. You just got to. It's like going to the gym. You get calluses. You got to develop that thick skin. You know?
Yeah.
Have you had any clients ask you to remove a post because of comments?
Yeah. Did you or
out
of respect?
That's the only time I would delete something, just out of respect. Yeah. I'm not gonna argue with them. Like that.
Do you have like we use like model release forms, so it's like just consent to post them? Do you have any forms or anything like that?
I don't, but I should. But I get him to say yes on camera. So
okay. So that's, I mean,
that's how we do
verbal.
it for the brunch.
Yeah.
When we do the hangover brunch, I'm like before the like interview part happens, I'm like, okay, I just need you to verbally give me consent to post this.
Yeah.
And then like if it's something where it needs more formal, I got a binder full of forms where it's just they put their first, last, and then I always just have them put their Instagram on there, and then they sign it, and it just has like it's a normal like contract type document where they're like, I give you consent to post, stuff like that.
Yeah, I always make sure with them too that they're okay with being on camera. And like I said, later on, if they really want to delete it, I'll delete it, or I'll shut the comments off or something. You know?
Something like that. Yeah.
But it goes back to like having thick skin. There's a lot of kids that are okay with it, and there's some people that are not. You know.
No, I love seeing keyboard warriors go crazy. Like that's my aim. If they're gonna sit there and be negative and whatnot, like. I think it's funny. Like just to sit there and just laugh about like how upset you are about this post.
Yeah. I thank them too because like they're giving me their time.
Commenting,
their time and effort to comment on my post that's gonna get picked up from the algorithm because of them.
Yeah.
So that's on them, you know?
No, please comment on my stuff because whether the algorithm doesn't know if it's a negative or a positive or, I mean, it might, I don't know. But either way, it's still an engagement, so.
Comment's a comment. Like, that's all they care about.
Yeah, so keep.
But which platform just introduced the dislike again? Was it TikTok?
No, I think it was. I think it was TikTok.
Was it TikTok?
Yeah, I've recently seen like one of the platforms because obviously YouTube's always had that.
Has a dislike,
But YouTube did turn off the number of dislikes because you can see the likes. You used to be able to see likes versus dislikes.
I remember that. Yeah.
Now it just strictly shows likes.
Is that like that on TikTok?
I think TikTok might
is.
have the dislike feature now.
Do you have the number of dislikes?
I don't think so.
I think it's just on the comments though. I'm not sure.
I just remember seeing it. I don't remember exactly.
Do you like that? Do you think that's a...
I think it's helpful, like, because I mean, there's sometimes like you get it's like Reddit, because Reddit's always had that, like, where you can downvote a post, and I mean, because there's sometimes, somebody might say something wild, and if you can have as many dislikes on it, I don't know.
I really just post and ghost. I try to read the comments down, like post and ghost, and then leave it alone. You know, look back at it later on, but I don't try to read nothing.
When I noticed TikTok worked better if you did that, because they're trying to like drive you to look back at your phone. And so that's one thing I noticed a while back was if I posted and then closed the app out and just left my phone alone for a couple hours, it would get more views because they're trying to get you to open your phone. So like the likes and the comments are coming in, giving you those notifications.
I agree too. So that's why I like to comment back to positive comments because it's a whole bunch of engagement. One thing I did learn too, also with the TikTok and Instagram, is they love it when you also use their app to edit. So portions of the video you can try to do some type of editing on their app, and they actually reward you for that too. There's just little gems that people don't know about that you should actually start doing.
So speaking of that, do you have a specific like editor that you use mainly, and then like what's your editing process?
I have a video editor out of the country, out in the Philippines, and me and him have been getting a lot closer because he's a young cat, and I like his work, and we kind of vibe together, especially like with his type of humor. It's definitely similar to mine, bro.
Dude,
so
I love the Philippines. Like we have for our wedding company, we have a team of right now. We're about 7 editors deep over there, and they're great people. I mean, we do weekly calls with them.
One thing I want to say about video editors though, because I get people always asking me like, "Can you plug me in with them?" I'm like, really? I feel like people have to learn how to edit videos first themselves.
Yes.
Because how are you going to tell a video editor what to do if you don't know how to do it?
Exactly.
Right? It's like you have, you're cooking, or you hire a chef and you don't know how to cook, but you're trying to tell them how to cook. Like, it's not gonna help the chef,
Yeah. And it helps too, like being able to deliver specifics, like especially if you're like, oh hey, like this font or this transition, stuff like that. Do you use mainly like CapCut, DaVinci, Premiere? Like,
I don't know what he uses, but I was doing CapCut. Yeah. I just tell him like where to cut and what to take out, what not to take out, and then I give him the free to do whatever he wants with the edits and stuff like that. Yeah.
Can you tell like which ones do you edit? You said you edit some of them or no?
Yeah. So consultations, he all does them, but all the other type of new content form I do is actually me editing them. Yeah.
Okay, and then you'll at a certain time when you get like comfortable with it, you'll switch and say, "Hey, you got this now." Or
yeah, because it's gonna help me out and him out a lot if I learn how to do it first. Because then I just be like, "Do this." You do it, and it's gonna cut both our times down, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Being able to just like hand off like those little tasks, I think are amazing.
Probably frees up a lot of your time because I mean, with being you're essentially a full-time barber, right? And then being an influencer is another full-time job, so it's kind of like as many tasks as you can. Hand off to somebody, it probably frees up your time to be able to actually like live life and do stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, and when I first hired him, I was kind of scared too because I was like, dude, can I really afford this right now?
Yeah.
But in the long run, I'm like, we can definitely afford it. Let's push out more videos and get him paid. And that's another fun thing about having him work with me is not only am he helping me out, I'm helping him out too. And having someone to keep accountable and actually pay him because he's probably relying on me for some money too, right? So like in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I got to make content to help them out too.
Exactly.
Yeah. And he's a cool dude. I like him a lot because he's like, congratulations on 100K followers extra. And I'm like, dude, you helped me out too. Congratulations yourself, because this is also your work.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And they're super personable people. Yeah. Because at first when we started using, we had one guy, and it took 2 months to get him fully trained to like edit a full wedding video. I mean, we're looking at 8 hours of footage, trying to process it, everything. And then we learned like, obviously there's a language barrier. Like they don't understand like American humor as much, but once you like get them trained and just, having the personable calls with them and like get them comfortable with like how you do things, I think like that one helps out. But two, like building out, he started hiring off like his cousin and his wife's a part of the company, and we have like a whole team now to where it's like he is, the lead editor, but he has all of his assistants and he's his own boss, and it's cool to see like we're feeding him and his family.
Yeah, and they're feeding us too.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, so it definitely helps out a lot.
Yeah.
So, do you do any brand deals at all, or are you really just kind of monetizing viewership? Or
I'm starting to do more brand deals. That's something I feel like will pay out a lot more, brand deals. But I'm being super picky who I work with, because me personally, the way I believe when it comes to brand deals is I only want to work with brands that I genuinely like and genuinely support, because it's going to be easier for me to sell, right? Yeah. And it's just better content overall, So the brand deals I'm working with now are just companies that I really like their product, because I'm sure my clients, I don't want to sell something to my clients that I really don't like or know about, and then they're going to be like, man, Ivan told me to buy this, and then my name's off.
Yeah.
That matters a lot to me.
You see a bunch of influencers get wrapped up in that, where they take any and every brand deal. And especially when it was the crypto space, you saw like Logan Paul and all these other people get hit with these things because they was just going after the fast money and they never researched their people. So I think that's cool that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's hard not to like just take any deal, but I'm really trying to stick to that moral and principles that I got. And that shows, for me, it's going to show a lot of character in the long run with people,
Do you have any like management that you utilize for like deals and stuff, or is it just all you besides you and your mentor?
Yeah. I have my friend Luis Cincinnati's out in Fort Worth that does content too. He gives me a lot of advice on stuff like that because he's done brand deals. So I ask other people for advice too all the time. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. You're just you're so organic with everything, and it's really cool because you pretty much just, built your brand and everything, and it's you. I feel like that's why you're blowing up a lot too. Is like you're super relatable. You're just you're just doing it, and that's awesome.
And I'm trying to come out my show more because I really feel like a lot of people don't. They're scared of judgment, right? They're scared of, like, if they do this or say this or dress like this, they're going to get judged for it. And like I said earlier, you're always going to get judged no matter what. So why not do what you really want to do? And that's going to be more organic to you, and people are going to appreciate that more.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like social media made people think that they had to put on such a front, but it's like people can see through that. That's what I always try to explain to clients, like, if we're doing like a talking head video and they try to go like super uppity, and it's like, no, be yourself.
Yeah.
Like people can feel when it's a genuine topic,
Yep.
or just, I mean, how you're speaking, everything like that.
Yeah.
So, no, I think that's really awesome. I mean, even when, like, before this, we haven't really sat down and talked a whole lot. I mean, I walked by you in the golf sim that one day, like, hey, like, you can come in and play. Like, just seeing like how genuine you are as a person was
Appreciate it, bro.
really cool.
Yeah, that means a lot. That means a lot to me, for us.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I can wrap it up a little bit. Where can they find you on Instagram, TikTok, whatever?
So Instagram is Ivan. Damn, I forgot it off the top of my head. Let me look it up real quick, because I think they're a little different from both.
Okay, so before we go into that, do you would you ever change one handle to make it just like the same?
I need to.
Is that...
Well, because on Facebook, I have someone out there that's stealing my content, whoever you are and watching this.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I've been trying to get back and forth with him, and whoever it is, they're trying to make money off of my stuff. But
yeah,
I need to switch over to that on Facebook. But I would like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the same on Instagram and TikTok. Sort of the same.
Sort of the same.
Yeah, yeah. But my handle on Instagram is Ivan the Great _1, but it's Ivan the GRA _1.
Okay.
And then TikTok is, I think, Ivan the Great, all spelled out with 86. Yeah.
Cool.
Which one is your favorite?
Right now, TikTok. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, the handle wise.
Handle?
Yeah, handle wise.
Instagram
you
for
like
sure.
That,
yeah, Ivan the Great _1.
Yeah,
and I got that name because I had back when I was younger. I mean, Ivan, there's not that many Ivans out there. I used to hate my name because they always used to say Ivan the Terrible, Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah.
The Russian leader.
Yeah.
He was some type of evil dictator. And I did more research on him, and his grandpa was actually Ivan the Great.
Oh, and that's...
Yeah, so I'm going to stick to Ivan the Great.
I like that, yeah.
And now I really love my name because no one else has it.
No, yeah, that's it's definitely a branding. It's really great branding. That's awesome.
No, that's awesome.
I think it's catchy.
Yeah.
Hannah, where can they find you?
Got handles on about everything. Whatever.
There you go. Well, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for coming on.
Thank
you
you
didn't
guys.
tell them where they could find you.
Okay, you can find me at jclark.jpg. Speaking of changing handles, I've been looking into it. I've been really trying to get the at Jacob Clark for so long because it was like a 13-year-old kid that never used the account. So I've been messaging Instagram like,
I like the JPEG thing though.
It's cool, but I do a little bit more than photos
I know.
now.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
That's why I might change got handles.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
But yeah, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you for having
checking
me
out
on.
this. Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you guys for having me on here. That means a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, appreciate it.